It read, Pont du Nord, fine wine producers. I didn't recognize the label. It read, Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. That door seemed to be the only way into the warehouse. The grill opened from the inside. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. Maybe there was a way in up there. It was a duct from a ventilation fan. The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. It was the creep who'd kidnapped Nico, and I had a score to settle. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the fan. It was a powerful fan. That isn't it at all. That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. The window looked like it hadn't been opened for many years. A fine old oak barrel.
Who is it?
My name is Stobbart, George Stobbart.
What do you want?
I've come for my girl.
No girls here.
Open up, creep. I got the feeling he wasn't too pleased to see me.
Who is it?
Pizza delivery?
I didn't order pizza.
No? This is the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company, isn't it?
I don't like pizza.
Oh, come on. Everyone likes pizza. Maybe he was allergic to mozzarella. Hey,
What now?
look. This pizza's been paid for. You might as well take it.
I told you, I don't like pizza.
Not even with extra olives?
I hate them. Olives are the devil's butt nuggets.
If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door.
What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep.
There was a small drawer in the desk. Knowing my luck, it was bound to be locked. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. It was a small brass key. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Quaramonte City. There was a notice board beside the desk with an assortment of paperwork on it. A filing cabinet. It was locked. The little brass key didn't fit the lock. The room was filled with Transglobal crates. All the crates were firmly sealed. The room was filled with Transglobal crates.
Whoa! Don't shoot!
The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? Hi. I'm not going to hurt you.
Quaramonte!
Is that where you're from? Quaramonte City?
Quaramonte! Quaramonte!
Okay. I didn't think he'd be interested. What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here! The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. It was the button to call the elevator. Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now? The label just wasn't sticky enough to stay in place. No. There. That would keep the doors from closing. The crate was labeled, "Danger. Live contents. Do not drop." There were small holes in the top and sides, and scratchy noises coming from inside. But decided not to risk dropping it and meeting the live contents. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. I realized the doors must lead to a loading platform high above the dockside. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. It was a pulley attached to a long rail which ran the length of the building. It wasn't much use, though. No rope. The short chain stopped the cuffs reaching from the statue to the winch. The short chain stopped the cuffs reaching from the statue to the winch. It was a hydraulic hand cart. There wasn't enough room to move the handle. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. There wasn't much I could do. I realized the doors must lead to a... There was no way to open that window. The statue looked as if it... The statue looked way too heavy. Nothing happened. That was probably because the elevator was already on this floor. An unmarked switch. Tempting. I noticed a faint mark on the wooden floor. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped. A secret room. Nico! Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
Thank God it's you, George. How did you find me?
I'll explain later. We have to get out of here.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant.
There. How are you feeling?
Oh, thanks, George. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Ubier had been in Marseilles, but never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Carzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes, the proof I needed to expose Carzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oublier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oublier.
I don't get it. If Carzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Carzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! It was the rope the Indian had used to tie Nico to a chair. Boy, what a souvenir. It was the strip of masking tape which the big Indian had used to gag Nico. It was a flint carving of a grotesque figure with large, evil eyes. We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. It was a device to prevent the elevator doors closing when they were obstructed. Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator. It would be much easier to attach the rope to the statue first. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poisoned dart?
Of course I'm sore.
I found these in your bag.
Oh, they were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through Andre's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, George. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. Did that Indian guy mistreat you?
If you forget about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Moon?
Yes, you remember him?
Well, of course I do. But I thought he was dead.
Oh no, he reappeared after the broken sword case had blown over. When he found out who was in with the Neo-Templars, he went into hiding. Moon knew more than was good for him.
Does he know about our involvement with the case?
If he does, he's not telling. Still, he got a sudden promotion.
Did you know Ubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Ubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Tell me about this Karzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightened me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, they're like a wild animal's, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Okay, tell me what you know about Condor.
Condor Transglobal exports Aztec and Mayan relics from Central America to Europe. But that's just a cover for the real business. Drug smuggling.
What proof do you have?
Nothing yet.
Do you know where Condor is based?
In Central America, a place called Quaramonte.
I saw that name on a docket downstairs. The rope wasn't long enough to reach the pulley. The short chain stopped the cuffs reaching from the statue to the winch. The short chain stopped the cuffs. The pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
Trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. It was too heavy for me to move on my own. Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Okay, push! Great teamwork.
Nice to be working with you again, Mr. Stobbart.
A cable stretched way out across the docks to a building in the distance. Nico, I have a great idea.
George, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, André. Give the stone to George.
well, of course, if you say so, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Andre.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for Georges, I wouldn't be here now.
It's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. The best lead that we have is Quaramonte City.
Quaramonte is in Central America. That's where Ubier gets his artifacts.
That's all we needed to know. Come on, Georges.